Hey guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Some of you guys in the house early at 9:20. We've got Amma Junior, the GOAT, who's always in first. Adi and Wagwan. Oh, I want 2 A's there, man. I want 2 A's for Wagwan. I can't say it, guys. You know, I can try Wagwan. And for your answer, I will say, you want an answer to that? You want an answer to that? Midida. Oh, I can't even say it. Midia, you know. Midia, you know. Anyway, that's my desecration of another foreign language. Hi, guys. How you doing? We're here. Another Manchester City news update for you guys from my hotel corner, my hotel room, sat in the corner. Got a nice chair, a big, massive chair. Can lounge back like this. How you guys doing? Hope you're well. Chris Lindley, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Faris, hey. No, I'm not watching any football. Kamal Dwyer, how you doing, buddy? I knew it was on, and then I forgot it was on. That's that Sandeepan Chakrabarti. How you doing, buddy? How are you guys? Just going to put my light on a bit so I can see you again. Will Messi leave, in your opinion? It's really, honestly, it's flip-flop time. Yeah, my opinion's changing. Let's give you a grander view of me. My opinion's changing as time goes by. You know, last week, if you'd asked me, I'd have said 6 out of 9. Sorry, 6 out of 10. And then a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, it was going up to about 9 out of 10. Today, the problem is it's really, really difficult to believe what people are saying. People can say anything they like and fool you. People can say anything they like. And I've seen it. I've seen it many, many times, guys. You know, there was somebody after today, they put a tweet out, copying in a tweet that they did 6 days ago. Okay. Now, what they said in that tweet was, that 6 days ago, they said Messi's not coming. And I wrote back, it's a 50-50 guess. That's all it is. Anybody can guess. It's just your gut feeling, your hunch. Yeah. So people are just going on this 50-50 guess. Nah, sorry, guys. It doesn't mean you know anything. And it's the same with journalists. They can say any old rubbish that they want. We don't know. That's the truth, guys. We just don't know. And most of the journalists, they're either making it up or copying what another journalist has said. So how do we know if they've, if they're in the know, if they've spoken to the right people, or they just guessed and hoped to get it right? There's 2 outcomes here. One or the other. It's pretty binary, this decision. Messi, Lionel Messi, is either going to come to Man City this season or he's not. You pick one camp, you pick one stable, and you go with it. Do some. I'm doing it all on my own, guys, so I have to do all the social media stuff myself at the moment, which is not a problem. I'd rather do it now than after the stream. So, as I said, you just don't know who's telling you the truth, who's telling you porkies, who's making stuff up, who's got a good contact. There's very, very little that you can say with any certainty is correct. And I could give you many, many examples, actually. Where there's people and even journalists who you think, yeah, these guys know what they're talking about. They can let you down as well. They can let you down. There's journalists out there who seem to be giving very, very good information, and then they throw in some real junk information or something that doesn't happen. I mean, I'm not criticizing him here. Don't want anybody to run away and say I'm criticizing. But for instance, Ian Cheeseman, now he did before Cass, he said he said that City were going to be exonerated. Now, some people criticised him at the time. Some people said he just took a guess and he put his neck on the line because City didn't know. Okay? Who knows? Okay? Now, Cheeseman and Trevor Sinclair, for instance, have said that it's going to happen. Messi's coming. I think Trevor Sinclair didn't use the name Messi, but we kind of got what he was trying to say. And now Cheeseman, Ian's, I wouldn't say he's drama. He just said these things are complicated. And I said it from the start. You could be 99% of the way through a deal and it could still collapse. Here's what someone told me about the Isco deal. That City were in the room, everything was done and dusted. They were just ready for Isco to sign, and then someone came in and said they wanted a €5 million extra in commission. 5 million euros. City walked out. They walked out the deal. Happened with Hazard when they wanted more money. City just walk away. Happened with other deals as well, that it looks like the player's coming to City, and then at the last minute there's a stumbling block, and it's usually to do with money. I think that's one of the reasons partly we turned away from Fred, I believe, Alexis Sanchez, and we've dodged some bullets there, guys. So it's just what happens. Wagwan mute. I don't know what he's saying, Trick Cyclist. You guys are trying to catch me out. Yeah, GRX, you want it over, but it's one of these things. Some of the drama of these transfers, it doesn't disappear just like that. It takes time. It's complex. What do I believe, Sam? Oh, wow. I know no more than you guys. Yes, I spent the last week scouring news and talking to journalists, reputable and disreputable, trying to get as much information as I can. Look, here are the facts. This is what we do know. What we do know is that Lionel Messi sent by Burofax message to Barcelona saying he wanted out, and saying he believed that he could tear up his contract basically because it was within the specified time. That's what we do know. Okay, I think we can say that's fact. What also is fact is what Barcelona said. No, we believe you cannot do that. We believe if you want to go somewhere, someone has to pay this release clause. That's what we do know. We do know that La Liga have backed Barcelona's version of reading that clause in the contract. So this is what we do know. A lot, and we know that Jorge Messi, the father and agent of Lionel, has come over and had meetings. Okay, these are the facts. Most of everything else is conjecture, is speculation, is innuendo. We don't know if it's true. That is the bottom line, guys. We just don't know if it's true. And then what you generally have happen, one journalist says something, everybody else copies, piles in. They don't want to be left behind. Okay, they want to kind of indicate, imply that they are also in the know. When, to be honest, do you really think, from City side, do you really think Cheeky Begiristan, Khaldoun Al Mubarak, or Pep himself are ringing up, as Colin Savage would say, as soon as they're doing something, they ring up the Daily Mirror to tell their journalists what's going on, or they ring the Sun or the Times, excuse me, or Duncan Castle. Do they ring Duncan Castle to say, hey, Duncan, we're not interested in Messi, really. That's what we're saying publicly, but privately, this is what's going on. No, guys, it just doesn't happen. Sometimes you can see where they looks like they've briefed certain journalists. Okay, when it was mentioned that Gabi Jesus, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, or players that could be involved in this transfer deal, very quickly some journalists close to Man City came out and said that's not going to happen. Mahrez isn't leaving this summer. Gabi Jesus isn't leaving this summer, and Bernardo Silva is not leaving this summer. That's what, I'm just going to get a drink, guys. That's what immediately happened so quickly, so unanimously, so consistently, okay, that the belief was that they had been briefed. They had been briefed by City, okay? So these are the things that I can believe, a journalist out of nowhere saying, this is what City have offered, a £600 million contract over 5 years. Sorry, guys, I can't believe that. I just can't. Anyway, so what do I reckon? Honestly, we just have to wait. So it's true. I think you just have to wait. It is painful. That's basically been the story of the day. It's been the story of the last week. I've seen from the videos I put out, you'll get thousands of people watching the Messi videos, very, very keen to know what's going on, and only 500 or 600, 700 watching the Koulibaly video. I did a video on 5 strikers. Excuse me, I put it out today. Last, not hardly anybody, but it's about 135 views last time I looked. And this is the issue. This is the issue. For me anyway, I don't want to just focus on Messi. That's the truth, guys. I want to talk about all sorts of issues to do with Man City. I'm not purely focused on getting views. Lots of views, guys. Yes, it's great. It's good for the ego. It's good for the soul. It's good for content creators who are trying to make money. It's good. But I don't want it to be to the detriment of all the other stuff I do. I don't just focus on little bits. I don't just focus on what's going to make me some money. That's not my gig. That's not my game. Okay, I'm focused on what I believe is interesting to me, to other fans, and sometimes things that should be talked about. And I remember 2 years ago, I did a video about Aero Muric. And I knew it wouldn't get a lot of views. I knew that. But I thought it was an interesting topic. I thought it was an important topic to discuss, to talk about Aero Muric, who's going to NSE Breda on loan. Talk about this huge keeper. I think he's 6'7" or 6'8", something like that. And to talk about him. So that's why I'll do that sort of thing. So I've done the video. It'd be nice if you can watch it, guys, on the 5 strikers that I think City should be interested in this summer. Some cracking players there. I'm just going to have a look. I'll tell you. I mean, it's had 141 views. My Messi videos get that in about 15 minutes. It's ridiculous. But on the other hand, he is the man. He is Messi. Let's go through your comments and try and keep up because there's a lot to talk about. Yeah, Jared, you want it to be over. It's distracting. It's going to be distracting to the other players, but it's also exciting. It's also exciting, and it's also making people say things that they may regret or making them change their minds. Like Eric Garcia, it all looked like he was going to leave. Now he's saying, well, no, all I've said is I'm not renewing my deal, but I want to stay another year. Now, is he saying that out of politeness? My missus is singing over there in the hotel. She's listening to her music, singing away. She's laughing now. She's always either singing with the music or laughing to some comedies that she's watching. But, so, Messi. It is Messi. It is. But as I said, Garcia has now turned around and said, I'm not sure if I'm going to... Well, no, he said, I haven't said I'm leaving. But the fact he's not going to renew... I was talking about this earlier today with somebody. The fact he's not going to renew, he shouldn't be playing for us next season. Bring Taylor Howard-Bellis through. If you want, use Tosin Adarabioyo, who's come back from loan. Garcia should not play unless he signs a contract. This is how it works. Unless you sign a new contract, Eric Garcia, you will not play for Manchester City ever again. Ever again, okay? You will not be with the first team training. You'll go back to EDS training. You'll go back to your own age group training. You won't be training. He might want to stay and train and play with Lionel Messi. We should not allow that to happen. You basically turn your back on City. You can do one. If you're not going to leave this summer, basically, if you don't leave this summer, we don't get a fee. If you leave next summer, what do we get? Nout. If you leave this summer, we get 20 million or something in that region. And if you sign a new contract and leave next summer, we'll probably get a bit more than that. So if you're not going to sign a new contract, we're not going to get a penny for you when you leave. You can get relegated. He's 20 years old now, guy. He'll be 20 years old. Put him in the under 21s or whatever the age group is. Don't even, I can't go through all the age groups, but put him in the lowest age group that you can and leave him there. Leave him on the bench all season long. I don't hate the guy, but I'm not very comfortable in what he wants to do, because leaving for now next season is poor for City. It's going to affect us. You might say it's only 20 million quid. It makes a huge difference to City in our profitability. That can be the difference between making a profit one season and a loss. Simple as that. Distraction, yes, but I'm sure the players are excited. Absolutely, Trick Cyclists. Everybody has got to be excited by this. I'm going to get in close. YouTube doesn't like these videos. I don't know. I really don't know. I always have a whinge about YouTube. Abdul, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. The Thunder Messi looks like Bernardo. Well, Football Genius, it's not my design. So it's not my design. I've got to say, it's Leslie Ross's, who's done a lot of good stuff. To be honest, I've not looked at it too much, but I can tell it's Messi. Come on, guys. Leslie Ross has done a lot of good stuff. I've got 3 of her books, 3 hardback copies of. After we won the treble, domestic treble, we scored, I think, 169 goals that season, and she made 169 copies of this book, and it's basically every single goal. And then there's a picture and there's players. And all the players got them. So there's about 25 or 30 went to the players. Some of the management and board members got them. So there were not a lot of copies left. I got 3 copies, 3 hardbacks. ESPN reporting Messi 90% saying at Barcelona as both parties don't want legal battle. I can understand that, Stephen. Nobody wants to go to court. The winners in court are going to be the lawyers. Messi's been there 20 years. He's got that. He's got some loyalties to them, which is a shame for him. And it's very hard. Can you imagine being with somebody in a long-term relationship? And it's mostly been very, very good. The breaking away when you need to can take a long time. And you might just give it another go to see if it works. It's a very tough situation for the kid. Well, I call him a kid. He's 33, but it's a very tough situation for the young man. I hope it can be resolved. City won't get in. City won't wade into this until it's resolved with Messi and Barcelona. Told you it would change when Jorge rocked up. He's obviously there to change his son's mind. Possibly. I mean, I was hoping he was there to change Barcelona's mind, but it could simply be that Barcelona won't budge and Messi doesn't want it to go to court. It's very unseemly. He's had issues as well in the past. He's got done for tax issues, I think Messi has. I just don't think he wants to go to court. And maybe they know that. Maybe they're playing on that. We're just playing the waiting game. Absolutely, Chris. Wait and see what happens. Diaz centre-back. I'm not sure about that, Sam. Forget Messi. Let's focus on getting in clinical striker midfield and fixing that defence. It's... I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, there's lots of players I'm looking at. You can watch my striker video and see who we came up with. I mean, that was with Maxi, and see who we came up with as the striker City should be going for. Here's a spoiler alert. If you watch my videos from back in July, when I looked at the players that a mix of mostly who I thought was coming in and a couple of that I wanted to come in. And the striker we chose is the guy that I chose back then. City needs Messi, Sandeepan. Well, look, Messi takes City to a new level. It takes us to I think he will improve the team, most definitely. He will improve the finances. Cristiano Ronaldo apparently brought in an extra 49 million pounds or euros to Juventus the season he went there. So Messi will bring a lot more than that, believe you and me. He'll bring a lot more than that. So he'll bring a lot of finances and he'll make the global brand of Manchester City even more widespread. It'll get up there with closer to the global brands of Barcelona itself, Real Madrid, Liverpool and Man United and Arsenal. It'll get us, our reach will be greater. And that's what Manchester City want as a football club. That's what they want. They know local reach is very tribal. People don't change who they follow. And people have got their teams. You're not going to a territory, a country that doesn't follow the Premier League that much, and you've got new people to football. Once basically in England, the way it works, once you pick a team, you stick with that team. And also they know locally around Manchester, they're not going to get a lot more money out of the local punters. They're not going to get much more money out of us. So where can you get money? Overseas, buying merchandise. Selling package tours, for instance. I mean, I see some people, what they've paid for tickets and a package. It's ridiculous. Some of it is absolutely ridiculous. So who's going to pay, for argument's sake, who's going to pay $3,000 for 2 tickets or 2 package tours for including flights and hotel, a tour of the stadium, maybe some and tickets to the game and maybe some merchandise? Who's going to pay that sort of money? Your local fans are happy paying 300 or 400 quid for a season card, maybe buy a shirt and maybe buy a little bit of food every week, and spending about 500 or 600 quid. And that's over a season. That might be over 30 games, or if it's just the league, 19 or 20 games. Okay, that's all they're looking at doing. Your overseas fan comes for one game. A couple come over. They might spend $2,000, $2,000, $3,000, or whatever it is going to be. I don't know how these packages work. And City will get more, I'm sure, for selling that ticket than the 50 quid they'd have got from a local fan. That ticket might be worth 200 because that's part of the profit of the whole package. So there's a lot more money to win by overseas fans. So that's why making us more global is really important for the club. Garcia can go to his Mank. Commitment only, same as signing. Absolutely, buddy. Got to say a big, I hope I don't embarrass people by saying who's a patron. Mank is a patron, I do believe, of our channel. And I've got to work something out. I've got to work out how Patreon works, to be honest. But, when things get really busy, there'll be some exclusive stuff in for the Patreon members only. Right now, you guys, I think this is my 4th video today. So you guys are getting a lot of content, all for free, a lot of content. I actually think he's not pacey or strong enough, Eric Garcia. Alex Jackson, yeah. The funny thing is I've always been looking forward to Garcia playing, always. And I just now, because I've always thought he's brilliant. But his lack of pace is an issue for him. It really is. If there's anything he can work on, it's his pace. Don't believe it when people say you can get faster. You can get faster. I'm living proof of that. If you train, even if you're a supreme athlete, you can get faster. Because I bet you Eric Garcia does not train. He doesn't do sprint training. I can guarantee they'll train with the stuff. But, having been part of an athletics club, you'll learn little bits and pieces in sprint training. I mean, I wasn't doing sprint training. I mean, I used to do 200 meters and 400 meters, but that was only we were doing it in groups. And my distances were usually the longer ones where nobody wants to run. For my club, I'll tell you this. I'm just chit-chatting away. But I've run the 3,000 meter steeplechase. I've run the 5,000 meters, the 1,500 meters. I've run the 400 meters. I think I did the 400 meter hurdles once. That's what I can remember on the track. And on the field, I've done the shot put, the hammer, the javelin. The triple jump was mine because in the club where we were, you could only take part in 8 events. You needed 2 people in each event. And so each athlete, I think, could only take part in 8 events. So some of the top athletes, they did their events. And then people like me, I would fill in wherever was necessary. But when we were running, we learned things like leaning forwards when you run and running on your toes. I'd never known that. If no one had told me, run on. And when actually you see the spikes that athletes use, I hated them. I couldn't use them. There's spikes all over the front where you're running on your toes. So you're learning to run differently. And that, believe me, it makes you faster. So he can learn to get faster, but there's only so much capacity he's got to get faster. And yeah, Alex, so those are some of the issues I worry about Garcia. Definitely to sell Garcia, says Mr. Roll-Up. No intention to renew, absolutely. I was going to say about Mac. I got to say, buddy, thank you, Mac. Was my second patron. Somebody from the United Arab Emirates was our first, and Mac has joined. And if you guys want to contribute to the site, to the channel, I'm always very grateful because I've done this for over a year, totally free. And if people do want to contribute, it helps me to buy bits and pieces of new equipment, get things a little bit better. You look like got the old Yeti microphone there. Got some more microphones for interviews. Doing software stuff, and hopefully slowly getting better. And actually, I will say, I found out tonight I was nominated for an award as a content creator award for Manchester City. I think there's only 4 people have been nominated. I think I tweeted out. I was really happy to be nominated until I saw the competition. And take that anywhere you wish. The guys who've known me for a long time know exactly what I mean. Dickie D, how you doing, Dickie D? If he doesn't sign a new deal, then I'd leave him out of the first team squad altogether. That's what I've said. Pep always says he only wants players who want to play for the club. Absolutely, Dickie D. Ivan Bravo, what do you say, buddy? I'm sure you said you agreed. I'll tell you what, I get too many. I always chat too long and I get too far behind. Mr. Roll-Up, City needs Koulibaly much more than Messi. I think we want them both, buddy. We want them both. City might have told him to set his contract for all we know. No, Bank. They could have said that, but he can still. I think City would take the money on him now. What's the point? There's no benefit to City for Eric Garcia to see out his contract. There's no benefit. We've got Nathan Ake. We've got Emerick Laporte. Hopefully, we'll get Koulibaly. We've got Taylor Howard-Bellis coming through. We've got Tosin Adarabioyo back if we want to use him. And we've got Fernandinho to use there. And we can even put Rodri there. We've got 7 players. I wouldn't bother about Eric Garcia anymore. Seeing out his contract when he's not going to play for us in the future and it'll cost us 20 million for him to see out his contract, it's not worth it. It'll cost us more because we'll be paying his wages. Adam, hope you're well. Adam. Yoni Imuchi. If not Messi, what's the second place City are going to go for? That's the issue. We don't know, Yoni. We don't know. No one's this. It's all very quiet. Personally, I won't tell you. Go and watch that video I've done on strikers and see who the favourite is. I don't think we'll go for João Felix, Mr. Rolo, because I think he and Atletico will give it another year. I think that's what's going to happen there. Lautaro Martinez, 23 years old. It's a very, very good age. Adam, what have I missed? We've just been talking about Messi and a bit about Eric Garcia. Messi, just to say what's going on. What's going on with Messi and what Barcelona, right? Barcelona are pretty chaka. That's my Jamaican friends. Barcelona, chaka. Okay, poor quality, disorganized, and messy. That's actually a description of chaka. That was the last word, messy. And Barcelona are, look, got to be fair. If we had to go by Munich for the way they were tapping up Leroy Sané, and we were not happy about what was going on. And so you got to say a little bit that City, we haven't said anything publicly, which I think is to our credit, about Messi, but we want him. Absolutely. You better believe it, guys. We really want him. Chris. Look, honestly, if I was in Manchester, I'd have a Messi 10 shirt already. I'd have gone to the City store. I'd have bought a shirt. I'd have asked them to put Messi on the back and put the number 10. I don't care. I'd have been walking around with that Messi shirt, but I'm in Paris. I ain't going to do that yet. Faris is an attacking player, isn't a priority. We have Bernardo Foden, KDB. I'm talking striker, Faris. I want a new striker. I want a young striker, 23, 24, 25, 26 years old. That's what I really want because Aguero's, 32? He's not going to get better. He's still good level, but he's not going to get better. Afterling skills, so Messi's staying. I have no respect for Messi. I don't know Afterling. We just have to wait and see. They could be playing everybody. Honestly, they could be playing Barcelona and City. James Higgins sounds like bad news everywhere today. Can this be trusted? That's the thing. 3 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, Messi, burofax. So he wants to leave. He wants it publicly known he wants to leave. He doesn't turn up for the PCR test. He doesn't turn up for training. He wants people to. You don't do that if you just want a bit more money. You'll still, in the past when he's wanted more money, he hasn't, held himself back. He's carried on properly. Okay, so this time, burofax, no PCR, no training. So there's something obviously going on. It's not about money. It's not about power. He could have done. He could have had a power play and carried on training. Not send that burofax. You don't need to go down that route to have your power play. So I don't understand it. Brian, what's going on, Brian? Barca don't want to lose Messi. Absolutely. La Liga don't want to lose him. They're going to lose a lot of money. Barcelona going to lose a lot of money when La Liga's next year when they do come up to renew their TV deal and they don't get as much money. It's a very high possibility. I think since the last TV deal, what has Neymar gone? Ronaldo gone? If Messi goes, what are people interested in Spain for? Eden Hazard? Couldn't care less. Azim, Messi should film a video and express his desire to leave. Oh, that's what he should do. And Bartomeu's finished them. But he won't do that. You can argue he's got too much respect. Another striker's importance is Mr. Roller, because we all know Aguero is yeah, absolutely. Aguero will get injured. Brian Boab. Messi may not have a choice with a match at hand. That's also an issue. If he stays at home, he gets no salary. Even though he's a rich man, you turn down 70 million quid or 70 million euros to stay at home. Garcia shouldn't have been anywhere near the first team squad for that Lyon game. Never mind playing in if he's not committed to signing a new deal. Pep playing him because he's playing. I don't know, Burton. I at the time, I didn't have a massive issue about it. I didn't. If you say he's one of our best defenders, then you go with him. But now, now I don't want him anywhere near us. Near the first team training. If Messi has no choice, then he should have created all the shame in the first place. That's true. But maybe he thought he had a choice. It's a good point. But maybe he thought he had a choice, and maybe now he's not so sure. Koulibaly's needed Messi's luxury signing to Abdul. Both of them take us to a new level. Stephen Dyson, do you think Stones will stay? He may have to. There's no homegrown quota. I've got to explain this. It's very pedantic. There's no homegrown quota. We can play with 0 homegrown players. We can go with 17 non-homegrown players. That's your limit. That's your maximum, 17 non-homegrown players. We can play with as many under-21s as possible. We could, if we wanted, have no homegrown players. You could have 8 under-21s or 10 under-21s and 17 non-homegrown and have a squad of 27. Nothing wrong with that. You don't need homegrown, but it's better to have some homegrown. Stones, the last 2 seasons, not this season just gone, the 2 seasons before that, he started the season on fire. He was on fire. And Vincent Kompany said in this treble-winning season, I think Vinny played the first game, Stones played after that. Vincent thought he was finished. He thought, as a lot of us did, that Stones and Laporte would go through to the end of the season and be with City, be the main centre-backs for City for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. That's what Vincent Kompany thought. So that's how good he rated him. And I think he told, I can't remember who he told, someone, one of the pundits on TV, that Stones was the real deal. So, in private. So, I hope he stays. I like him. I just hope he can get his stuff together, get his brain sorted out. Messi to Seattle contract, not Garcia. Sorry for the confusion, Mac. Yeah, I agree, buddy. Akash, how you doing, buddy? Do you think Messi will sign? I don't know. My strength has dropped a little bit. I was 9 out of 10. But the thing is, we just don't know. One report comes out, everybody's jumped all over it, and everybody's suddenly changed their minds. I'm not sure. SOS 66. I'm getting very bored with all the Koulibaly and Messi transfer dealings. We should give Napoli and Messi a specific date to sign them by and then move on. I think we've done that if you read the Manchester Evening News with Napoli. But the thing is, guys, look, in the old days, we wouldn't know about things until right at the death. Now with social media, people are making stuff up and conning us. And there's so much coming out. There's so many wannabe journalists out there. So many wannabe in the nose. Yeah? So many wannabes. And they've just got to chat rubbish. And so that's one of the problems we're having. Haj, I hope Barca don't win any trophies next season and get destroyed. Haj, come on, that's a bit harsh. But they're not my favourites at the moment, Barcelona, for what they're doing. Get Koulibaly done as soon as possible. That's what I want. Dickie D, I think meeting Koeman was a tipping point for him. Koeman or Pep, tough choice. I mean, yeah, let's be honest. Well, Koeman did all right at Southampton. Rubbish at Everton. Not so great with the national team. I don't rate him enough yet. The thing is, you can get lucky once or you can get unlucky once. So who knows? Yeah, getting bored waiting on the other signings. I don't think the courts will tell Man City to pay 700, so since they will check his age contracts and so on. Yeah, look, it will be a lot less than that, Joseph. I mean, I've talked about this and said, I can't believe it's, 120 million is probably the limit. But we just don't know, and it needs to be sorted out. Sebo, seeing as this Messi deal is dragging, City should be focusing on other targets, namely Koulibaly, Martinez, Haaland, Aouar, and Nuri. All right, let's quickly. Koulibaly, I hope they can move that on. Haaland, I don't see him coming to City because City don't want to deal with Mina Raiola. Okay, that's what I've heard. They don't want to deal with him. His players, we don't go anywhere near because Mina, he wants a lot. He wants about 20 million as a commission. City just don't want to deal with him. Martinez, he's much better for me. Husam Aouar, that's gone all very quiet. Nuri, I've done a video on Nuri. He's a cracking player, but I think he's just too young to come to City right now. Messi says he wants to leave just to stay at the end of the day. He does so many times. Why? But Sumesh, he's gone further this time, and I think that's the thing. Is he like on a rubber band? He wants to go, but then he gets pulled back, and this time he's gone further than ever. One day it'll snap. Doing the bureaucrats, not turning up to training, that's a little bit further than normal. City will never do business with Haaland's agent, says Mr. Earl. Absolutely, I totally agree. Faris, exactly. Stones was always the starter in the start of the league. Then injuries come, ruin the momentum. People forget that. Clear the ball off the line. Look, people forget that he was the main defender, him and Otamendi, in the Centurion season and in the treble-winning season. And in fact, Otamendi, people diss him. In the Centurion season, Otamendi was the most used centre-back, 35 games. He was the man. Let's go through some other topics very, very quickly and more Messi. Okay, it's been rumoured. I mean, it's rumoured a little while ago that Chiqui Begueristan was in Spain to talk to Sevilla about the defender Diego Carlos. Okay, now look, we've already got Nathan Ake. We're looking to strengthen at the back. We're looking at Kalidou Koulibaly. I think it's quite clear he's our top target. But City are waiting until Napoli reduce their selling price. And if they don't, City will be forced to look elsewhere. Now, what City do is they have a short list for each position they want. So the number one target is Koulibaly. Other people apparently on their short list, okay, this is according to Daniel Murphy at the MEN today, are names you've heard of: Ruben Diaz and Pau. Ruben Diaz is at Benfica and Pau Torres at Villarreal. He's, I think, a little bit older. But the latest name, or a name that's emerged before, is Sevilla's Carlos. Okay, Diego Carlos. Now they've won a record 6th Europa League this season, and he was obviously a main part of that. He's 27 years old. Okay, it's claimed now that Man United are also considering a move. The possibility of a move, as well as champions Liverpool. I don't believe Liverpool will. Liverpool are not even going to pay the 30 million euros for Thiago Alcantara, Champions League winner, top player, and they don't want to pay 30 million euros for a 29-year-old. So how are they going to pay? What's going to be a lot more than that for Diego Carlos? Okay. Now this report adds that Premier League is Carlos's most likely destination because it's the English clubs have the money, basically, to do this, a deal. I don't know what the level will be, but it's been reported by Gazzetta dello Sport that the next few days are decisive in Koulibaly's future, with City and Napoli still a part of the evaluation of the defender. It is claimed City's latest offer for Koulibaly borders 65 million euros, which is about 57 million pounds. But that remains too low for Napoli President Aurelio De Laurentiis. So if City can't hear any positive response by September the 15th, they'll walk away from any deal to sign the 29-year-old. I reckon it would be somewhere in the region of 65 million, okay, between 60 and 70 million euros. Can still happen, but if we want it, we're going to have to get our skates on. I'm just going to rattle through some other brief stories, guys. As I said, peppered with Messi, because I know you guys want to talk about Messi all the time. Okay, let's have a quick drink. Okay. I talked about the Koulibaly deadline. You can go and check that if you want. Some of the City players who are playing for the country: Ilkay Gundogan started for Germany tonight. Ferran Torres started for Spain. Claudio Bravo has been unveiled as a Real Betis player. Next season, 3 substitutes in the Premier League. If City wanted 5, it benefits City. As they had after the restart, City want 5 subs because we've got that squad depth to be able to use 5 subs. But as expected, it was defeated in the meeting today. Next season will be 3 subs. They're also going to have a look at behind closed doors matches, because they were not going to have closed doors matches on TV. Now, after the restart, all games were on some form of TV, whether it was BBC, Amazon, BT, Sky. Okay, it was on somewhere, every game. The worry is now, if you're used to going and seeing your team play, and they aren't one of the favoured ones who are on almost all the time, how are you going to watch your games? How are you going to watch your team? And they're worried that people, if they're not on the telly and you can't go to the game, they will illegally stream the games. And some people who are paying 70, 80 quid a month to Sky, and then they're paying some money to BT and some money to Amazon, so people might be paying £100 a month or a little bit more for their football fix on the telly. If you find out you can get a set-top box for under £100 and watch all the games, any single game that you want, why would you go back to paying £100 a month when you can get it for under £100 a year? And there's a worry that they'd lose a lot of income. They're going to lose a lot of income because people can't see their team. And then, when people can start going back to games, they still won't go back to Sky and BT because what's the point? They've realised they get good value for 100 quid a year. They'll go for that. Now, talking about Diego Carlos, Sevilla have said, Sevilla's director of football, Monchi, he's confirmed the clubs that have had no contact with any potential buyers for centre-back Diego Carlos. Okay, City said they've not made an approach. He said, I know what I read in the media. No club has called us. No offer has come. Diego Carlos will be training when the team joins and thinking about the Super Cup. We have nothing on the table on this matter. Koulibaly, another tidbit of information. It said Koulibaly is on about €6 million a season. City would offer to pay him about €12 million. That's been reported in France Football and Sports Italia. They said personal terms have been agreed. City just need to agree a transfer fee with Napoli. If you're going to do it, City, get it done. Get it done quick, guys, and then move on. Get him in, get it moved on. Get it done. I'll do a story tomorrow about City buying Troy. City Football Group, who are the owners of Manchester City, have invested in their 10th club. It's their 12th team, if you include the women's teams at Manchester City and Melbourne City as separate teams, which they are. So I'll talk about that tomorrow. I did something about that a few weeks ago, and I will hopefully give you a video about that. It's really interesting. It's important to know as well what's going on with the CFG, because the CFG gives City extra bargaining power. It helps us to get bigger contracts overall, and most of the money is going to come to City. It helps us as well. We can, if we want, we can send our players out on loan to our sister clubs with no problem, and knowing that they're going to play. We've had problems in the past where we sent players to clubs that are not linked with us, like Eri Muric to Nottingham Forest. He played 2 or 3 times. He had a bad game, he got dropped, someone else came in, and that was the end of Eri Muric at Nottingham Forest. There's no benefit to us for that to happen. So if we can do something where you can't guarantee they're going to play, but we've got a bigger say whether they're going to play or not, then I think that's better for City. And it helps to increase the value of those players. Let's see what else we've got. We talked about the players that are playing. Here we go. I saw this earlier on today. ESPN is saying City are in the race to sign Dario Sarmiento of Estudiantes. Now, this kid is 17 years old, only played 10 senior games, but he's attracting a lot of similarities to Messi for his exciting style of play and potential. City have been linked, as usual. That's what happens. City linked with everybody. So I mean, it's really weird when you look everywhere. This morning, the MEN Manchester Evening News was saying that Messi would be available for about £88 million, which is about 100 million euros. You know, it's one of those. Who do you believe, guys? You know, I'm kind of still got to wait and see. Still got to wait and see, guys. Night's over till it's over. 2 days ago, it looked like he was coming. So, in 2 days' time, it might look like he's coming again. Anyway, let's go through some more comments. Mac, what do you think of KDB and his agents? I'm interested to know. To be honest, Mac, look, his agents, there's obviously the fallout with the agent. The agent's been arrested. City want to do apparently a new deal with KDB. I mean, he's one of the best players in the world. Certainly in the Premier League. By far, he's the best player in the Premier League at the moment. So it's just a matter of wait and see. Once again, it's one of these wait and see what will happen. And if you want to get rid of the agent, I don't know. Could it be another one that ends up in court? It's crazy. People want to remember what they want. Yeah, absolutely, Faris. Absolutely. You know, I mean, it's the City fans who want to choose somebody up and spit them out. That's what they've done with Ottoman. That's what they've done with Stones. They've forgotten what they've given us. And that's why I don't go overboard. You know, I don't go overboard with these guys and castigate them like everybody else. I look at it and say, look, Ottoman played 35 times in the Centurion season. That's only 2 seasons back. Only 2 seasons. John Stones started the Centurion season and the treble winning season really, really well. He was the number 1 choice pairing with Laporte. In Centurion season, he was number 1 pairing with Otamendi. So you know, he's not got rubbish overnight. He's got issues, yes. I think issues with confidence, issues with fitness and personal life, apparently. But, you know, give him a chance. I mean, part of me thought send him out on loan. He's still only 26. Get him out on loan. Let him get a full season behind him, stay fit, get his form back, and then come back at 27. I have no issue with that. People just say sell him, get rid of him. He's horrible, and I don't go along with that. Was he there for Carlos or Rugion since he was on loan at Sevilla? I don't know, Mr. Olop. I mean, the report I read last week was that he was there or a few days ago, for Diego Carlos. I mean, that'd be interesting. Now, it could be just another ruse that suddenly City are interested in Diego Carlos and they're not going to buy Kalidou Koulibaly. And sometimes this is what happens. The word is put out on the street so that maybe De Laurentiis says, oh, now we're going to miss out on the sale of Koulibaly. Maybe I have to reduce my price to get the deal done. And maybe that will happen. Who knows? You think Jan Couto will get starting time and he's a great prospect? I would like to at least get 20 games. Yoni Imuchi. The thing I don't understand by Couto is he can't get a work permit. How's he going to get a work permit? I have no idea how Jan Couto can get a work permit when Douglas Luiz couldn't get a work permit. On the point system, I can't see how Jan Couto gets a work permit. I don't know fully how it works, but I looked at some of the points that helped Douglas Luiz to get it at Aston Villa. Some of the things you look at are how much did you pay for this player compared to the other transfers at that time? How much is this player paid compared to the top 25% or whatever of the club's earners? Now, Aston Villa, his transfer fee was pretty high for Aston Villa. It's pretty low for City. His wages are pretty high for Aston Villa, pretty low for City. So he gets more points that way. Aston Villa are going to play him more than City were. City couldn't guarantee him a certain number of games. He'd be looking to play half a dozen games for City. Whereas Aston Villa said he's going to be an important part of their team, and he was. So all this contributes to your work permit things. I can't see how Jan Couto gets a work permit. I know he's training with City now, but I can't see how he gets a work permit. Now, maybe I've missed something in the rules. Just got to wait and see. Do we lose Pep when his contract's up if Messi doesn't come? I think so. JRX, it's a possibility. Now, I'd heard a few weeks back that Pep was going to extend. I'd heard again that Pep was looking to extend for 2 years. I heard a few weeks back that it might be 1 year and then a rolling contract, which in effect is 2 years. If he extends for 1 year and then it's rolling, it equals 2. So I want it, whatever's going to happen, I want to know quickly. Sane got subbed off early. Looks like a mild injury. That's a shame, Akash. I don't wish injuries on anybody. With Jaden, buddy, I haven't seen you earlier today. We can't miss out on a key defender again. It proved to be costly last season, in my opinion. Yes and no. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. That Fernandinho not playing as a defensive midfielder cost us big time. Pep sorted here, Messi or not, I'd say, says Mark. I hope so. I hope that's the way. And to be honest, we heard nothing about the Messi wanting to leave until after I heard Pep was going to sign an extension. Is there any wonder people are watching football illegally, says Aaron Booth? Absolutely, mate. You know, the prices that they're charging. I mean, I'm fortunate. I stopped paying the Sky simply because I was going to so many games and home and away. As much as I could, I was going to games. And then I paid for BT to get the European games because I was going to some European games at home. Can't go away. And it's difficult in midweek when you get into the winter time. And I've got 2 kids to look after on my Todd. So I can't dump them around my mum's. My mum is now in her 80s. Can't leave them at my mum's. So my situation is I have to look after my kids. Midweek games, not getting back home till half. And I took my eldest lad to a midweek game once, and we got home at 11:30. He was in bed at 12. You got to get up at 8 for school. You know, as a father, I want to take him to football. I want him to play football and watch football and support City, and he does. But you know, 8 hours sleep, it's not great for an 11-year-old, is it? Any news on the Pep's contract? What do you think will happen? I'm still convinced Pep will stay. That's what I heard a few weeks ago, that he will sign an extension. Absolutely, Forrest. People go over Bobby Stones, Mendy, especially Otamendi. I've said about Mendy, I said I'm disappointed with what he did for us last season. I've said that. Hi, Jason. But I've also said about Mendy that he was brilliant in the 2 seasons that he started, that he got injured. He was brilliant. I'm lost with this work permit. I was lost before, even more so with Brexit. Mac. Let's not go there. It's hard work trying to keep on. The thing is, it's really difficult to keep on top of rules when they change. Rules are always changing. I'm trying to keep on top of the homegrown rules. FFP, things are nuances in here and there. You know, it's hard to keep up. Akash, I think Jan Kuchuk already got a work permit. He put up Instagram post looking and signing, very happy to play for City. But he's only in pre-season training, Akash. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how it works. You know, maybe he's got a temporary visa to come. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Could he get a 6-month visa? I don't know. Is he here on holiday? I don't know. How can I find out? I don't know. I can't ask City. City won't tell me. So how do you know what the situation is? It's, you know, unless you spend a lot of time trawling through information trying to work it out. I'm honestly, especially with Messi going on, I haven't got the time. I mean, I saw him in training on Monday. I saw the pictures, so that's why I know he's here. That's why I talked about him earlier. I talked to him on Monday night, I think. But we just don't know, guys. I'll be honest. There's no point me BSing you. I don't know how he's here, how he's training. You know, I don't know. Sometimes, and I don't think it is the case in this case, sometimes players who come from Brazil can get a Portuguese passport. Okay, that's how some of them get into Europe, using the Portuguese passport. Now, who knows? Has he got a Portuguese passport? They can get Portuguese and Brazilian passport. Has he got a Portuguese passport? I don't know how it works. Once again, do you have to play in Portugal to get the Portuguese passport? I don't know. I really don't know. I've not looked into the Yankuto because obviously he's a player on the periphery. You know, we've got 30 players, 35 players ahead of him. Those are the guys I'm more interested in right now. Do you think we should invest in other smaller clubs to send our young players on loan? We do, Killian. We've got, okay, let's tell you who we've got. Manchester City, CFG, City Football Group, wholly owned Manchester City, men's team and women's team. Melbourne City, men's team and women's team. New York City FC, completely owned them. This is what it says on their website. They have got. I'm going to get this name right. They have got an investment in Yokohama Marinos, and I think they were the first one that we got involved with. Yokohama Marinos. I think in there they'd call it Marinos. We call them Mariners. But anyway, so we've got a stake in them. We've also got Yokohama F Marinos. The F is important, and actually might long told me what the F stood for, and I can't remember. To be honest, I think we got involved with them because of Nissan. We had a partnership with Nissan. They are the majority owners of Yokohama F Marinos, and that was our first significant foreign investment, but I think it was only 10%. Then we bought a club called, it's now called Montevideo City Torque. In the old days when we bought a Uruguayan club, it was called Atletico Club Torque. That's what I could remember. And now it's changed to Montevideo City Torque, which is MC. So you got the MC there, but they still get the Torque part of it. It was founded only in 2007, known as Torque. It was renamed, well, it was Atletico Torque, but it's renamed Montevideo City Torque at the beginning of the 2020 season. They play the home games at the legendary Estadio Centenario in Montevideo. Okay, now they've got promotion in the first 3 seasons of City ownership. They've been promoted to the Uruguayan Primera Division twice. Obviously, they've been relegated as well. The first time in its history. So they got up in 27, down in 28, up in 29. 2017 they got up. 2018 they went down. 2019 they're up again. Now, the idea behind them, it says the investment enables CFG to build on existing connectivity in the country and helps to expand the currently limited options for identifying and developing local Uruguayan and South American talent. And also, it's an administrative hub for City's pre-existing scouting operations in the region and represents City Football Group's first footprint in South America. We've got Girona FC. We own 44.3%. About 50% was owned by Per Guardiola, Pep's brother, but he sold his stake now. I can't remember the full details of that. But under the City Football Group auspices or ownership, that they got a promotion to La Liga for the first time in 2017. I think they said a couple of seasons. They got relegated. In China, we've got Sichuan Jinhuai. We bought them in 2019. So they're in the Chinese League 2. Now, there's a lot of shareholders in there. They got CMC, Chinese Media Capital, who own part of City Football Group, about 13, just over 13%. So they've got part of Sichuan Jinhuai. And then Manchester City, another Manchester City partner, Ubtech, they're involved as well. Now, Sichuan Jinhuai are based in Chengdu, anyway, in Sichuan province. So, Mumbai City FC, Lommel SK, and Mumbai City, obviously, Lommel SK are in Belgium. But I'll do a longer video tomorrow, guys, on the CFG. All reliable sources have said Messi is leaving. Creep, look, yeah, it might. This is the thing. Everybody was saying he's leaving. Everybody's saying he's leaving. Somebody now says he's staying. A lot of sources are saying he's staying. They just go with the flow. Creep, I don't think Messi is mistraining just to take Barca. I agree. Akash, we have a streaming site, Hotstar. I've heard of that. We'll pay £5-6 a year for all Premier League matches. Maybe people in the UK could use a VPN and access these less expensive streaming sites. That's what people do. That's what people do. If you've got a solid VPN, you might need a local address and a local credit card. But it's possible. All you need to do is know somebody. You can do it that way. I don't think Messi has missed training. Oh, sorry, I'm done that one. Dickie D, having clubs all over the world allows us to expose the City brand 24/7. Plus, it allows us to scout players from all over the world. Absolutely, Dickie D. And obviously, we've got Troy in France now. That was announced today. But the other thing about sister clubs, I mean, we own them. We all have an investment in them. We have other clubs we work with. So there's NEC Breda in Holland. And for the last 4 or 5 seasons, we've been sending players there. We've sent, for instance, Philippe Sondler to Anderlecht. Vincent Kompany's manager there now. So, you know, there are other clubs we send players. And I'm sure there's other clubs that we'll do business with. City will be looking for more clubs to buy. I'm pretty sure we're going to be looking somewhere like Mexico. Sounds a good option. Somewhere in Africa. They've got to get somewhere in Africa. I'd love them to get Paradou in Algeria because they play wonderful football. But I was told they don't need to sell. But hey, if you offer a lot more money than the club's worth, people be involved. People will be interested to sell. I read that we pay 10 million euros for Troy. That's nothing, guys. They're in the second division League 2, Ligue 2 in France. They were fourth in the division when the football stopped. They were close to getting promotion. And if we can get them promotion, League 1, then they'll be worth a lot more. Zinchenko scored a cracking goal for Ukraine, says Blue Chan. Good to hear. Do you think City should invest in Scotland because it will be cheap in England and Scotland have similar players? That's a good idea, Killian. I mean, you could easily go in and get someone like, I'm just going to shout names out, Dundee United or Dundee. Get someone who's dropped from the Premier League down into the first division. Get them cheap. Bring them back. And you're right. We can send kids up there as well. EDS kids who are too good for the EDS but not good enough for the first team at City. Send them up to Scotland. Have a decent level of football, especially if you've got a club in the Premier League there. And then if they're good enough, bring them back. Mr. All Up, really hope company develops into a great manager so he can manage City someday. Yeah, I think next season for me, or the season coming, is going to be a big decision maker. Look, he could have a very long career ahead of him, but I think this season is very big in his development. Guys, I think that's it. We're up to an hour. It's been great having you on. Remember, I'll have to say this, I have to do my housekeeping. If you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as the new videos come out. Give us a thumbs up. Get these likes up, guys. And yeah, if you are interested in the Patreon system, you can go and have a look at that, please. I had a couple of people join, one yesterday, one today. Basically, it's to help support the site. I'm a content creator. Don't make money from YouTube for doing this. Or it's pennies. And to help sustain the channel or keep it producing the level of content it does. Because I'm going to have to go back to work soon. You're getting all this out of me. 4 or 5 videos a day, simply because the COVID situation as well. It's put the knackers on a lot of my work. But later, if things stay steady now, here in France, I'll be working in November and December. I'm pretty sure of that. And I'll be working bits and pieces up to then. But, right now, it helps to sustain the channel a little bit. It helps me to buy a little bit of software and hardware and get things looking a little bit better content creation-wise. YouTube batting me called Messi's bluff. Did anyone really think that Messi was going to leave the club with a rich heritage like Barcelona? Behave yourself, buddy. Honestly, I wish I'd stopped the stream before you made your comment. The thing is, Akash says, we shouldn't buy teams who will make the Europa and Champions League will result in conflict of interest and will be forced to sell. That's a possibility. But on the other hand, Akash, you can look at it and say, you buy Troy. In 3 years' time, they qualify the Champions League, yeah? You made your investments, whatever. You've bought them for 10 million. You made your investments, let's say 30 or 40 million. Let's say you sell it for 100 million because you have to sell it. You made 40 or 50 million pounds profit. Is that such a bad thing? And you still have the opportunity to send your players there to get better. Guys, take it easy, guys. It's 10:30 in France now. So I'm going to... I'm Junior the GOAT, man. Mac, send me something, buddy. You can send me something here. Or my missus, turn the light off. I'll tell you what. She's so inconsiderate, isn't she? Now she's turning the light back on. She's on my side, and she's turning my lights off. Anyway. Well, we'll see. Is that Ikram? I am saying we'll see. We'll see. Guys, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. See you around, Blues.